on January 2nd, 2000, Arrowhead Stadium, Kansas City, Missouri.
After 11 long years, the Oakland Raiders are looking to play spoiler in Arrowhead.
But it's gonna take overtime to break this streak. This is the Broken Arrow Game.
Oh, that's a catch.
Games with Names is a production of iHeartRadio. Welcome to Games with Names. I'm Julian Edelman, and they're Jack and Kyler, and we are on a search for the greatest game of all time, and today we have Jon Gruden here in the Nuthouse in San Francisco, brought to you by Liquid I.V. Episode is insane. And don't forget to drop a like and a subscribe. Let's do it. Let's go. Welcome to Games with Names. Today we are looking at week 17 of the 1999 season between the Chiefs and Raiders with Coach Gruden. Coach, in one sentence, why did you pick this game?
I think it got my career going. I think it got our team going. It revived the Raiders. It was the Raiders' wake-up day. That's what it was.
Is this the greatest game of all time?
Well, to me, it's the greatest game I ever coached in. And it was very meaningful. And like I said, it lit a match. It lit the fuse to reawakening the Raiders, which had been asleep for a while.
I think that's our theme right now. It's a light a match game. You know, I was talking before with Jackie, one of our producers. We just did Berman yesterday, and he did the 81 catch game, the catch. He said that was a light the match game. Yeah. And Gruden comes on. He's doing another light the match game for the Raiders. Yeah. This is light the match season. Yeah.
Well, when you're a young coach like I was at that time, working for Al Davis, and you don't understand because you're in the AFC East, but the Raiders Chiefs is an iconic matchup. I mean, it's a great rivalry, still is today. But the Chiefs had been kicking the Raiders' ass.
10 years?
10 years. I mean, it just been a one-sided ass kicking. And they had great players. And the Chiefs are playing at home. All they got to do is beat us, and they win the division and get a home playoff game. Now, if they lose the game, they're out.
They're out.
And my old boss, Mike Holmgren in Seattle, wins the West.
Gets in.
And it's the last game of the year. My quarterback was Rich Gannon, who the Chiefs had jettisoned. Yeah. Get out of the building. They went with Elvis Gerback. 49. And we're down 17-0. Everybody wanted Gruden fired. But we fucking hung in there, man. It was one hell of a win for us.
And I can't wait to dive into it. But let's jump into how is life at Barstool? I love watching your content. You're unbelievable. I watch your game plans. It makes me feel like I'm literally in the NFL classroom, which all guys are. That's what guys do. People think playing a professional sport or professional football is just going out and practicing and fucking stroking JoJo's. You got to sit and learn and fucking hear these guys out because that information is so crucial. How's Barstool been treating you?
Great, man. It's been great. We have a great leader. You know, Portnoy is part of your army with the Patriots. He's really been a great boss. He's a little bit like Al Davis. He's got guts. He'll say what he thinks. He wants production, but great leadership and a bunch of young people that are creative, that love sports, and it keeps me young, man. I want to do a good job. I'm trying to get better, and thanks for having me on, and thanks for saying that.
No, this is an honor, man. I've watched you coach. I'm a Bay Area native. I've watched you in the booth. I've watched you coach. I've played against you. This is fucking just awesome. Getting to talk ball with Jon Gruden. Now, does Portnoy have a cologne like Al Davis?
No, nothing like that. You know what? I'd be sitting in my office. And Al Davis was a night guy. I was a morning person. So at about 8 o'clock at night, I'm winding down. I'm in there at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
And Al's just getting started. And I'm smelling that smell. I smell that cologne coming my way. And it's getting louder and louder. And there he is standing right in front of you. Hair, you know, they got the glasses on. What are you working on, Butch? You know, shit. He's the only guy, okay? You know, you got all these owners today, no disrespect to any of them, but Al Davis was the coach of the year in the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
You couldn't bullshit him. He could go in there and draw the punt protection. What was the call by the personal protector? I go, I don't know. You don't fucking know. He made me learn punt protection. You know, you had to know personnel. Who's the third corner for the LA Chargers? you better know it's Terrence Shaw. You better know he went to San Jose State. You better know matchups. You better know blocking schemes, offense, defense. And he had these trend reels, Julian. You'd be getting out of the office on Friday. There'd be a stack of beta tapes, blitzes, plus 20 plays, red zone touchdown passes. You had to find an idea. He was always tapping into your brain and your work ethic and your passion for the game. I loved him.
Now, how did that compare? Because you were with the Niners with Seifer and kind of the Bill Walsh was around. You're from a football family, so you kind of probably already knew how to watch film. Was there something that he brought that was different than how you learned it, or did you kind of know some of that stuff? And how was that experience in San Fran learning?
Yeah, I always took pride in getting around the best people I could be around. I was lucky to learn the 49ers offense. That's all I ever wanted to do. Montana was in his prime. Jerry, John Taylor, Brent Jones, the ball distribution. We had a great coaching staff, Bob McKittrick, the way we ran the football. So I learned that, and I studied it. And I got a chance to go to the Raiders and be judged by Al Davis. And his impression of throwing the football was vertical. You and I, we'd love to just carve you up any way we can. Option routes, whatever it is. He wanted that ball. He wanted vertical choices.
Speed, big,
He wanted all that. So it was kind of buying into his vision and selling the vision that I had of completing passes, staying on schedule. So it was really cool. And there was some of that, let me tell you. He was hard on me.
Yeah, I can only imagine. That's so legendary. I just did the movie.
Did you?
I had a little role in that movie. I don't know if I'm allowed to say it yet, but maybe. It was just fun to rehash and go over all the stories of Al Davis. And people don't realize he's the only guy to be an owner, a coach, a general manager, a commissioner. He sued the league. There's so many great things where the league is right now because of Al Davis.
Yeah, I think it'd be really cool if he had seen the Raiders move to Las Vegas. He'd have been perfect walking down Las Vegas Boulevard. He'd be like Elvis, man.
I mean, the stadium looks like Al Davis.
It does, yeah. It does.
Right on there. It's just...
It does. We went into the Coliseum yesterday. We called the people there, and some of the security worked there when I coached the Raiders back in 98, 99, 2000, and obviously 2018, 19. But we went into the Coliseum, and the grass was pristine. I mean, it looked like they were getting ready to play a 1 o'clock kickoff. Now they're using it for their soccer team now. Okay. But it just broke my heart.
It did.
Thinking about Kenny Stabler and Gannon and Tim Brown and Freddie Bolitnikoff and Reggie Jackson. And I don't understand your politics out here, man. How do we let the Raiders and the A's leave the state? I don't understand this place.
It's
and
sad.
The Warriors. The Warriors left Oakland.
The Warriors went across the bay.
Yeah.
I mean, I just remember when my mom came in, she wore my jersey to that Coliseum as a Patriots fan.
She probably said I should change at halftime.
You know what? My mom's a tough little German lady. She held her own, but those people, that crowd, that was a home field advantage.
Yeah, I mean, you go to Allegiant Stadium now, and if you're playing Cincinnati, there's mostly
50%.
Well, everybody wants to go to Vegas. Everybody wants to take. They'll pay 5 times face value to get the ticket.
Yeah.
You got to use a silent count at home.
You got to use a silent
But if you wore a Cincinnati Bengal jersey into Oakland Coliseum, you might get your ass kicked.
You might get killed.
You might get cussed out too, man.
Oh, my God. What do you got, Joe?
I was going to say, Coach, what's the craziest thing you ever saw a black hole member do? Those are crazy Raider fans. Or interaction you had with them.
I shouldn't say it, but, I'm not going to say it. I've seen a lot of crazy stuff down there. I've smelled some crazy smells. And one of the coolest things was when we really got it going, the black hole was rocking. And they had the Alienator and Gorilla Rilla, and they had some famous Raider characters in full costume.
Oh, yeah.
And I look down there, and they're going crazy, and they're yelling my name, and I turn around, and my mom is in the black hole with my young son, Michael, who was 4 years old.
Oh, my God.
And I'm like, get the hell out of there. Get her, but it was, those were my friends. Those people are the kind of people I relate to the most.
I hear you, man.
You know, they want to fucking win the game, man, at any cost. And they were always there, win, lose, or draw. They were always behind us.
It's a fun group of fans that, you know, the NFL needs, and they need to somehow get those people back in to Vegas. What's the difference between Al and Mark?
Well, you know, obviously, Al grew up like I grew up, in a dark room, breaking down film. People don't realize Al Davis was offensive line coach at Citadel. He was offensive line coach for USC Trojans. You know, Al Davis was a grinder, man. You know, Mark's a businessman. I never knew Mark that well when I coached the Raiders in 98 to 2001. So although they're from the same family and they got the same last name, and they're completely different, but very, very devoted to the Raiders. Mark Davis still treats the alumni extremely well. He's very proud of his dad. He's very proud of the silver and black, and that's why I think they'll be back.
How many hours of film do you think you've watched in your life? Hours?
Unfortunately, probably most of my life. You know, I miss my projector. Shit, I'm sitting in this little hotel. I'm like, damn. You know, I feel like where's my clicker?
Yeah.
You know?
You got a cowboy clicker on the road?
Sometimes.
You got it.
I didn't bring my projector because I knew I was going to be busy. And, you know, sometimes you're on the airplane and you're studying film and you kind of get that douche quality. You know what I mean? I don't want people to think I'm a nerd, or, you know, I like to have a little fun when I'm traveling. But I do miss it, man. You know, I make reels. I bought 2 servers. Servers are expensive. I've got all my video, my practice tapes. I got Brett Favre practice tape from 1993, 1994. I'll install plays. I just coached the Hula Bowl. I'll install plays, and I'll show Joe Montana doing it in 1990. I'll show Brett Favre doing it in 2000. Tom Brady doing it in 2010. And I'll show your guy, Drake May, doing it yesterday. And I'll say, do you have any questions about this concept? It's a good play, isn't it? You know, you sell your shit. I got to sell the plays to the players. Players aren't stupid. You gotta sell it. And the player's got to buy it. And he's got to get excited about running it, knowing this is going to kick their ass. So I make all these tapes, and I still get to collaborate with coaches behind the scenes and players, and I just love it.
Where are you getting this database of film?
That's not for public knowledge.
I'm just saying.
I'm a pirate.
What goes on behind
I collect
the doors
video.
of the FFCA?
I'll go visit. Dan Campbell let me come to the Lions. You know, Kirby Smart invited me to Georgia. Ryan Day invited me to Ohio State. I get to go watch these practices, and I might say, "Is there anything I can have? Can I have anything?" Like I'm a beggar. You know, can I have some film? And usually these guys give me something that I can study.
Now, FFCA, what is it?
Yeah, Fired Football Coaches Association.
Fired Football Coaches Association. You've been in it now for a few years.
Yeah.
And the luxury of that, you get to go see these other coaches. And you get to get these other films. What's something you've learned from visiting one of these coaches that you've been super impressed with, that, like, if you get your next shot, I'm going to bring that into my...
I've always been a thief. I've stolen plays.
Copycat league.
I've stolen drills. I continue to do that. I also have confirmed in my mind that our way of doing it is the best. You know, egotistically, I wanted people to come to our practices and go, fucking A, that was a great practice. That was a great practice.
Yeah.
You know, so I've always taken real pride in that. And the coach at Georgia is a real deal. Kirby Smart. I love the way they utilize their fields, their coaching staffs. So these coaching staffs, they got like 50 guys now. And everybody has an assignment. You know, you got to take interest in player development. Young guys, you got to rejuvenate a veteran player. Somebody's coming off injury. You got a new coach. You got to incorporate all this stuff together. And everybody wants coaches to have less time, Julian. The collective bargaining agreement, no pads, no quarterback schools, no off-season program. How the hell is the game going to get better?
Games on Thursdays, games on Wednesday.
Yeah, I hate it. You know, I was with Trey Smith. Is it? Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get into it, but when you got to open up the season in Brazil, play on Thanksgiving, play on Christmas, play on Monday night, and then fly to Buffalo on a short week. People don't realize that shit is hard. Now you're playing 17 games, and you got 2 bye weeks, and during the bye week, you're not allowed to let your players in the building. Come on.
I mean, there's a rule for everything. Wait until college unifies.
Yeah.
It's going to be crazy. Now, you've been to a bunch of those practices, you know, when you were doing Monday Night Football. What were some of the sharpest practices that you saw that you just envy? Like, that's a fucking tight, that's a tight ran ship right there. Those boys practice. Like, what are some of the teams that impressed you?
Well, it's easy. Usually it's the guys that I knew, you know, because I related to how they did it. Mike McCarthy, when he was with Green Bay, he did a hell of a job, man.
Yeah.
You know, the way he utilized the indoor facility instead of having everybody sitting down on a meeting, you know, sometimes they'd get up, take 10 minutes in the indoor facility to demonstrate a play or a concept. They took advantage of the indoor with the cold weather. They might go outside for 15 minutes and work on anti-turnover circuit and then come in where it's warmer where they could concentrate. McCarthy did a great job.
How do you think he's going to do in Pittsburgh?
Who's the quarterback? You know, everybody wants to talk about us coaches. Let's be honest. You know, Tomlin had 5 different quarterbacks 5 years in a row. Now they made the playoffs. You know, I got fired for going 9-7, 9-7 my last 2 years in Tampa. The only way I think you get to the brink of the top of the game is you got to have great quarterback play. You know, that guy touches the ball every play. We're like caddies. You know, if you're caddying for Tiger Woods, you got a chance to win the Masters.
Yeah.
If you're caddying for some club champion, you might make a couple birdies, but you're going to have a hard time wearing the green jacket.
I like that analogy.
Now, Coach, you're a very big situational football guy. Off the top of your dome, 3rd and long, what's your favorite play?
You know what? I stay very...
Wait up. Is there an indigo concept in it?
Well, daggers, you know, with a little sit by the tight end, trips formation.
Little 3-level.
They got to have help on the right side. You got to have help on the left side if you're going to push it. If you're in 3rd and 12, 3rd and 14,
worst.
We called it 76 splash, which was Z spear with an X trash, a shallow cross, and a back foul.
Catch and run. You want to catch and run them?
Well, look, if you think you're going to take 2 or 3 hitches and let some 18-yard dagger develop against all these pass rushers and all these stunts, good luck. You know, you got to stay on schedule. You know that. Sometimes a little check down, let the guy rally for it, and put me in 4th and 1. I'll go for it.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you got to play that
Quattro
a little
situation.
bit too. You know, you don't want to just stand back there and let these beasts feast.
And that's really, I mean, that's money down. That's where all those guys are making their hay. That's where you get all the exotic fronts. That's where you get all the exotic TE games and who they bring in. They're bringing these 5. No, they're bringing these 4. They're dropping this guy, and you just threw a fucking interception.
You remember Mahomes when they beat the 49ers in the Super Bowl a few years ago? The play of the game to Tyreek Hill. They're running a dagger with an ultra-high corner instead of a middle clear. And Mahomes, I swear to God, I thought he was going to get killed. I have no idea how Pat got that ball that far down the field and that accurate under that hot of a pocket.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to have a guy that's got big balls, man, that will stand in there and take bullets, especially back in the day. I mean, back in the day when you see Montana and Marino and Aikman and Phil Simms, some of these guys got Elway, they got
abused.
blasted.
They got abused. It was that was medieval.
Yeah.
That was medieval times.
Yeah.
I mean, you go and you think, if you watch the game, I mean, there was no rules. You got freaking Jack Lambert over here giving the guys forearms, poking eyeballs at the bottom of the pile.
Yeah.
Now you can't even breathe on them. But you think about it, though. I mean, it's the most important guy. Like you said, they got to protect him. And that's the line. We'll see where it goes. I want to pause for a minute and talk about something personal to me. I've had the privilege of working closely with Robert Kraft for a long time. And one thing I've always respected is how seriously he takes standing up to hate. As a Jewish athlete, my identity is a huge part of who I am. I'm proud of it. But I've also felt what it's like when people judge you or label you or target you just for that. That's why this new commercial from Blue Square Alliance Against Hate that aired during the big game stuck with me. It shows a kid being targeted at school for being Jewish, and another kid covers the hate with the blue square and walks beside him in solidarity. That moment says everything. Standing up doesn't always mean confrontation. Sometimes it's empathy. Sometimes it's presence. And when you're on a team, in sports or life, you don't leave people to walk alone. If you want to show support, post the blue square and learn more at standuptojewishhate.org. Should we jump in to back in time right now?
I like that. Let's go back to the time of this game.
Let's go back into time where the game took place, Coach. And we like to go over some of the pop culture, what was going on around the world other than football, even though we're football guys. This game took place January 2nd, 2000. Jackie, what do we have?
We got Stuart Little Jonathan Lipnicki vehicle, #1 movie, Smooth by Carlos Santana, featuring Rob Thomas. We all know that one. Fire. Any Given Sunday was in theaters. Great football movie. The Talented Mr. Ripley. The Green Mile. That's a good stop and watch if you're ever on flipping around on AMC or something. Jackass premiered on MTV. We all did some of those stunts.
Are you ever watching TV in the middle of a season in 2000?
No, can you believe that? I mean, most of my life has been washed away, but I do remember Toy Story. Our kids were little, and Tom Hanks, the voice of that guy, Woody.
Yeah.
Hanks is from Oakland. He was on our sidelines for some games.
Whoa.
So I was kind of a big fan of that. But my life at this point, man, this is the millennium. We were all worried about
Y2K,
planes crashing and computers not working, phones dying. There was a lot of anxiety flying to Arrowhead during that weekend.
Now, were you a doomsday guy for the Y2K?
No, hell no.
You're a football coach.
I would listen to people and I would just understand the concerns, but I try to stay in 2 feet of water, Julian. Once you get too deep and philosophical, you just drowned in your thoughts.
You just drowned.
You got to walk out there Super Bowl Sunday and you got to go play. Trust your preparation.
And
unleash it, man.
I do know.
Yeah.
I do know.
Coach, how was 2000s Jon Gruden different than 2026 Jon Gruden?
Probably not much different.
I like it.
Yeah, probably not too much
that.
different. That's the one thing I probably take pride in. Be who you are, stay consistent, and I loved that time in my life because it was a proving ground for me, and I took great pride in doing my best, and this was kind of the peak of all that hard work.
Amen.
Now, what do you miss about the league in the 2000s that may be different now?
Well, I miss the 16-game schedule. Okay, I don't miss this modern European tour that we're doing during the season. I think you play all your games in the United States. I got 8 home games. I'm not sacrificing a home game under any circumstances. I miss the playing rules a little bit. I understand player safety is paramount, but this is not for everybody. This game is just, that's why people ride motorcycles. There is a danger in bungee cord jumping, playing in the National Football League. I miss it. I miss the just letting the coach, letting me and my staff put together our training camp format for our players. You stay the hell out of here.
No bargaining agreement, no hours.
Well, I'm not saying we're going to be totally, closed out. We're going to be open-minded and smart about it. But we took a lot of pride in taking care of our players. Shit. When I was with the 49ers, Bill Walsh practiced on Friday at full speed with no helmets. We had trained ourselves to practice better amongst ourselves safely. Jerry Rice would never hit, or Ronnie Lott would never hit Jerry Rice.
Is that a practice?
Because there was a great amount of respect. No one would ever get near Joe Montana, ever. Charles Haley, not even if they would never touch him. But there was a big respect in how we practiced with the 49ers, and I thought we did a great job with the Raiders back then, although we practiced longer and a little bit more often.
Well, that's how you tell where a team is at, is how they practice.
Yeah, I agree.
If you don't see guys on the goddamn ground, guys know the tempo, they know the speed, They know that nothing's more important than the health of the team, but we still got to get work. We still got to work hard because we can't get to the second level on a fucking double team hip to hip, just half-assing it. You can't do that, right?
Yeah, no.
So you need to practice hard, and the great teams are the great practicing teams. I bet you both these teams, you go to their practices, which I will be going to the New England practice today. I bet you it's going to be lights out, no balls on the ground. There's going to be no blown assignments. Guys are going to be taking things from the classroom to the drills to the freaking team period or the 7-0. It's just going to go smooth. Practicing is everything. The preparation, like you just said, 2 feet of water bullshit. So you can go into Super Bowl only think everything's about the prep for the player, how he feels. And if the better he preps, that's when it becomes easy on Sunday. That's when it becomes easy on Sunday.
Yeah, I coached some Hall of Fame receivers.
Yeah,
Jerry Rice, Tim Brown, Irving Fryer, Art Monk, Sterling Sharp. These guys never missed practice. They never missed a game. They never wanted to miss a rep. They were trained differently. Not to be disrespectful of how we're doing it now, but it's a different deal. And I think the coach, he needs to have a couple bullets where if you're lollygagging around, lining up wrong in practice, God dang it, Julian, guy jumps offside at right guard. Then the horn blows and we walk to the next drill. And then something else happens. You call everybody up and say, this is bullshit. You go get in your fucking cars. We're starting the whole day over. The whole day over. And, guys, the next time someone jumps off sides, hey, that son of a bitch is crazy. Let's pick it up.
Yeah.
But the players got to run the team. But they also got to know that son of a bitch over there is nuts. Now, if you did something like that today, you'd get incarcerated. You see what I'm saying? But I think there needs to be a little bit more given to the coach where he has a chance to do his thing. I think your ass is on the line. 10 of them just got fired this year.
10.
And you'd like to get fired having had a chance to use that bullet maybe to rile your team up. Sometimes you guys need to be pissed off a little bit.
You have to.
You got to make them laugh. You got to piss them off. You got to fire them up. You got to do all of it.
It's different, Coach. We come from probably the same-ish generation. I mean, you've been way longer, but the old hard-nosed, like anyone my age, no one liked their football coach. You loved them, but you didn't fucking like them. You didn't have to. It's week 19. We're going to the goddamn Super Bowl. Why are we hitting the fucking hill? He knows we need to hit the hill. Yeah. He knows we need that extra juice because it's a longer game in the Super Bowl, and you need that shape. You can win game. They know that. You don't have to like them. And sometimes when you have that asshole figure, that's the coach, or who, not the asshole figure, but a coach who is really got those 2 bullets, it unifies a team that like, all right, we're all in this together.
Yeah.
We're all in this together.
Yep. And don't get me wrong, I would tell the players, don't be afraid to throw me in that dumpster back there.
Yeah.
I don't really want to be an asshole. I don't want you to not like me.
No.
I do want you to, it's in our best interest, okay, that you play great.
Yeah.
I got to have it from you, and you got to have, we got to work together.
We have to work together.
But, yeah.
Now, what is bad football? I hear all these people on TV talking about what is bad football?
Bad football is bad ball security. When you see guys fumbling the ball, careless ball security, that is bullshit.
Pre-snap penalties.
Can't take pre-snap penalties. Make me throw up. I stick my hand in the car door. It doesn't even matter anymore in college football.
Snaps?
Fumbles. What's all bad football? Oh. Missed blocking assignments. How about a quarterback running a ball into a free safety blitz and getting the back smashed? That is bad. How about a blown coverage? We shift over here, we motion. How about not running to the ball? How about not breaking the huddle?
Not flat to downhill on an in-cut.
How about dropping passes? How about you catch the ball against the zone and you start dancing around?
Get vertical.
You see what I'm saying? You got to show all this bad shit to the players. This is bad. Don't do this. Then I'll show a good clip. You see Edelman right here slice these guys? That's a 14-yard gain. He caught it for a 4-yard gain. That's 10 yards. He split them. Then you show somebody doing it bad. But lack of concentration, bad football.
What's the Mount Rushmore of bad football? There's only 4 of them.
Bad meetings.
Bad meetings.
Bad preparation.
Bad
attitude. Selfishness. It all starts there. You can control some of this stuff. You got to walk into that meeting thinking, oh, yeah, I'm checking myself in to get better today. A lot of guys check in like, God, I can't take it. I can't take Wednesdays. Fuck, I hate Thursdays. You know what I mean? So it all starts. That's where it starts bad. And if it starts bad, you got a hard time to really get it going. So you got to get some culture guys. That's why your Patriots are doing well. Spillane, have you ever been around Robert Spillane? Yeah. He would play on the Walt Whitman Bridge for nothing. You understand that? Yeah. And so would Gibbons. And this what's the other guy's name? Your other linebacker. I love him. You got him from Philly. I can't.
Landry.
Christian Ellis. He's a badass. But these guys will play for nothing. But I think it starts there. And then the drill work. When that horn blows, from the time we have pat and go to our individual has to be all about eliminating bad football. Your stance, your start, right? The new routes, whatever it is. Ball security. Just, the little things. You got to do the unsophisticated things so you can do the sophisticated things.
You got to do the unsophisticated things so you could do the sophisticated things. Because most of these games aren't won.
Yeah.
They're lost.
But too, what I read about Vrabel is he has every Patriot player. I think they call it the 4 H's.
Yeah, heartbreak.
So he would tell you to get up there and tell us who your hero is. Tell us about some heartbreak in your life. I can't remember all the 4 H's off the top, but I learn who you are. If I'm another player on the team, you learn who I am. And it kind of gives you a sense of, I got to run this route for this guy. We got to play together for us to have a chance.
Yeah.
And a lot of teams aren't together.
No.
We also got history, heroes, heartbreak, and hope.
Yeah.
We know what bad football is. What's good football then?
You hear it all the time situationally. Teams that can convert in short yardage. I'm not talking about this bullshit tush push. I'm talking about get some weight on your front hand, reduce your splits, come off the ball, and have a running back that understands a great run on 3rd and 1 is 1 yard. We got to get this first down. Converting in the red zone, getting touchdowns, contributing on special teams. People don't realize in the NFL, we don't have 98 guys down there. I might say, hey, Rondé Barber covered the kicks for us in the Super Bowl. He's a Hall of Fame DB. I never thought about it one time. I never went up and kissed Rondé's ass because he's playing on. He did it because he wanted to win a championship.
Yeah.
But I think just being on top of your assignments, right? Competing your ass off. 4th quarter pass rush. You got to have a group that can close the game out.
Yeah.
Because inevitably, you're going to play your ass off and have a 5-point lead with 2 minutes left. Tom Brady did a great job. You guys have done a great job offensively. But you know what? Your defense has to go out there and end it.
You got to make Malcolm Butler, you got to make a play.
Yeah. Somebody, it's got to be Willie McGinnis. It's got to be Will Fork. It's got to be Ninkovich.
Hightower.
Got to be
Jamie
somebody.
Collins. Trey Flowers.
Yeah. Nobody talks about those guys. But they had a lot to do with you guys getting these rings, man.
A lot of them.
And I like what Coach talked about with Warren Sapp back then. Don't be afraid to call a timeout and let those big boys rest.
Yeah, well, he's the one
those late
that
situations. I love that.
We go out there. It's hot as hell in Tampa. You guys know that. I mean, it is hot. We're wearing these red uniforms and pewter pants. And Sapp says, hey, can I take a timeout? I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? What, are you going to take him to your grave, motherfucker? You know what I mean? No. He goes, I get tired. Can I take a timeout? I go, yeah. So he's out. He rushes. He comes back. He rushes. He comes back. He takes a timeout. So we go out there like a crew of firemen. We give them Gatorade and water them up. Next play.
Pit crew.
Bam, next play. But what happens is during the 2-minute drill, the high-priced rushers, the great players, they get tired. They got to come out of the game. And you're replacing Warren Sapp with who? He ain't Warren Sapp. So
you got smart guys on the other side that go no huddle and keep them trapped on, keep the same personnel group. That's how you tire out these big fucking guys. Hit them with a couple screens to start the goddamn drive. Make them run sideways. Keep them on the field.
That's right.
That's one of my favorite Warren Sapp stories. I love that.
I know.
Sapp, yeah, he was something else.
Now, Coach, before we jump into the game, you're sitting back. You just watched a game that your team played in. You're sitting there by yourself, maybe on the plane because you got the iPad and you got your cowboy clicker. and a play goes off and it just makes you have a little smile.
Yep.
What's that play?
It's just something that you practiced, maybe something that you feel like you invented. You know, you're like, hey, man, that was an original.
OG.
You know, it's like you're a musician or something. You're coming over. You're like, God dang, man. Fuck. And then the next week you see 7 teams run it. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's when you really know that was a good podcast, man. Everybody's talking about it or imitating it or showing clips of it, you know. But I remember Rich Gannon. I used to grade the feet of the quarterback, the decision, and the throw on every play.
Yeah, they're great.
And, you know, Rich would grade out at 86%, and he'd argue about the 14% where I gave him a bad grade. I said, you know, one of these days, Rich, you're going to get on the plane, and you're going to say, wait till you see this tape. I ripped their ass. And there was one day where he actually did that. But we were always seeking perfection. But when you see a play, like we ended the Ravens' day on Monday Night Football, my last year's coaching, we had this route as a max protection audible, and Derek audible to it, and Zay Jones went right down there to win the game. That's one of those plays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, you know, I always remember grading the stuff. There's one thing about when you go into that, because we used to get graded out too, and you thought you had your fucking best game in the history of games. 100% of that. You go turn on the film. It's never as good as you think, and it's never as bad as you think. Even then, if you have a bad day, I'm going to get fucking fired. There's a couple good things. It's not that bad. It's never as good, and it's never as bad. That pursuit to perfection can drive a man crazy.
Same rule applies to podcasting. When we're watching our podcast tape, say the same thing.
Yeah. But, you know, you need somebody to keep raising the bar.
Yep.
You don't stay the same. You either get better or worse, and we ain't getting worse. You know, so I remember Derek Carr threw for 71% one of the years I came back, and we had our quarterback orientation, and we go through all the cut-ups, and I have paragraphs written. And the first thing we did is we started with the 29.9% that were incomplete.
Yeah.
And I pissed them off. I'm like, you could have completed 80%. And once you complete 80, you're going to complete 90. And then once you complete 90, let's complete every pass. But I think you got to keep pushing and prodding and trying to get these guys to find a way to get better, man, even though you had a hell of a year.
Well, that's the coach's job. You guys are pulling the strings on whatever it takes. And it's different for a lot of guys. Guys are tuned differently. But you got to be able to pull a string to motivate someone, whatever his motivation is, to get him to play his best. Because if you can do that to the more players on the team, that's how you get good products.
Well, it takes the players to do that. You got to. That's the Patriot way. Who are we shitting?
Yeah, but
everybody talks about the Patriot way. I mean, you guys have taken pride in having guys that really like football, that really appreciate preparation and want detailed information. There's a certain expectation, I think, that you guys had. You wanted to be Coach Hart.
The one thing our coach always said, he was on a pursuit to find a tough, smart football team that performs under pressure consistently. That's what he said. That's what I want. I want a tough, smart. How are you tough? A team that can run the football, that can stop the run, that can cover kicks. How are you smart? You're good in third down. You're good in the 4-minute offense. You're good in 2-minute before half, 2-minute at the end of game. You're good at all this. That's what a tough, smart football. That's what we were always tried to be. That was what we wanted to be.
We had hats, RCE.
Recognition, communicate, and execution.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can't execute. If we can recognize the defense
and you can communicate,
and then we communicate what we're going to do, that'll lead us to high levels of execution.
Yeah.
If I'm running a choice route against cover 4 deep, 3 under with Edelman, we're going to shred these guys.
Yeah.
So if our quarterback recognizes quarters and we're in certain formations, why wouldn't I let him pull the switch and audible to that play?
Yeah.
I mean, we have the ability to communicate. RCE. And if Edelman runs 7 choices in the first month of the season against quarters coverage, I'll tell Julian, if you can't beat that coverage, we can't call this play anymore because that's Field of Dreams. And I got to heighten your eagerness. You know it's a fastball. You know it's a curveball. hit it out of the park.
Yeah.
You know, and I think
Cross his face, no one's on the other side.
getting everybody on the same page in terms of recognition takes a lot of work that a lot of people don't have the time to put in, or they don't really want to go through all that shit. Let's just run to the line of scrimmage, run an RPO, and clap our hands and get on with our day.
Well, let's go and jump into the work that Coach put into in this light matching game. What is it? What is this? Light the match game?
Light the match, baby.
It's a light the match
Started
game.
something special.
Yeah.
Jackie, break down these Chiefs.
Let's run through these Chiefs real quick. These guys finished 9-7. Gunther Cunningham. First year of the Cunningham era.
Schottenheimer.
All you AFC West fans realize he was formerly with the Raiders, DC and D-line coach. First year post Schottenheimer, of course. Notable assistants on this team. You got Ron Zook, Frank Signetti Jr. Shout out Indiana, baby. Tony Gonzalez, third year breakout season, 76 catches, 849 yards, 11 TDs. Derek Thomas, final year in the NFL, 9 sacks, went out there and balled. You got to, of course, we talked earlier, Elvis Gerbach, 2 years removed from People Magazine's Sexiest Man of the Year. Look that one up. Andre Rison, Donnell Bennett, Derek Thomas, Bam Morris. Joe Horn was on this team.
Joe Horn.
Pre-cell phone?
There ain't even cell phones yet.
I know. They probably weren't. He was on the pager. These guys were in contention right up until this week to win the AFC West.
Hall of Famers, Tony Gonzalez, Derek Thomas, Will Shields, Warren Moon, too.
Warren Moon.
Coach, what do you remember about this team?
Well, I remember they were very good. Marty Schottenheimer was there the year before. Rich Gannon was my quarterback, came from Kansas City. And they had trained their whole team to just kill the Raiders. The Raiders were exactly what you don't want to be. They're lackluster. They're undisciplined. They're penalized. They're a
Bad football.
Kill them. We hate this team. This is Raider week. So Gannon, kind of brings all this intel of how they're thinking. Boy, I was just so, Derek Thomas, my first game as a head coach ever was on national TV on ESPN, and Derek Thomas had, I think, 6 sacks against me. Against Jeff George. Derek Thomas was unblockable.
Remember that face mask?
Yes, bro.
So we had Derek Thomas. I do remember we had a lot of injuries on our offensive line, and we fell behind fast, and I knew that was not the recipe in Arrowhead with that noise. They played great classic rock, too. I mean, it was loud. Remember, come on, feel the noise. Quiet Riot. They must have played that song 100 times. I swear I could feel my body shaking. It was loud, man. But it was a hell of a team. And for us to prove to ourselves and to everybody else that we were legit, we needed to beat this team because they had been kicking our ass and Denver had been kicking our ass. They had won back-to-back Super Bowls.
Yep.
So it was a tough league to be in.
That was a tough
But
division.
thank God for Rich Gannon.
Jackie, get into the Oakland Raiders.
We got to talk some Raiders. Yeah, baby. Finished this year 8-8. Coach Gruden was in his second year in Oakland. It was Rich Gannon's first year. I believe this is correct. Went 6-2 against playoff teams that year.
Yeah, we had a good team.
Guys
We
were
missed some
building something
field
special.
goals. We missed some field goals.
That's why he brought in
Who
Joe
you get in
Nedney.
next?
My agent, Bob Lamont, had Joe Nedney. Joe Nedney kicked at San Jose State. So we brought in our kicker, Joe Nedney.
Heck yeah, brought him in December. This was an awesome offense, too, averaging 24.4 points a game. That's a top 10 offense. Had some Hall of Famers on this team. You got Tim Brown, Charles Woodson, of course,
his
Al
fingers.
Davis.
I mean, I was always a
Allen.
Niners guy. But everyone, even if you were a Niners kid in the Bay, everyone loved Tim Brown. No gloves, taped the fingers.
He was on his own.
smooth.
He was awesome. He's still, I see that name, I just well up, man. He meant a lot to me, that guy.
What about Jerry? Or what? Were you there with Jerry too?
Yeah, I got
Because
Jerry.
you got him next year.
Yeah, I had Jerry my last year, 2001. We brought in Jerry.
How was that having Tim Brown and Jerry Rice? How fucking cool is that?
It was awesome. It's a funny thing is I was always very perceptive to the ball distribution. I never
Had
wanted. So Tim, you'll appreciate this. The Z lines up to the call in our offense generally, unless he hears slot zoomer X.
yeah.
So anyways, Jerry played Z for the 49ers, same system for about 15 years. Tim played Z for me for 3 years. So we moved Jerry to X. So during minicamp, we would break the huddle and Jerry and Tim would be over there at Z.
Yeah.
I'd be like, God damn it, Jerry, you're the X. Oh, don't yell at Jerry. You know what I mean? Hey, excuse me, Jerry, you go. But at the end of the year, I think they both had over 90 catches. You can quote me what the stats were. They both had over 1,000 yards, and I think they both had the same amount of touchdowns.
Let's see here. That would be 2001 Raiders. Let me see here. We got Jerry had 40. No, he had 83 catches, 9 touchdowns. Tim Brown, 91 catches, 9 touchdowns.
They both have over 1,000?
Yeah, and they both went over 1,000.
Granted, Jerry was 40 years old here.
The Braids were back here.
Yeah, the Braids were back there.
I had this office in Alameda, and I walked in. We played the Titans, I think it was, on Monday Night Football. And we had this play double post. 2 posts. The tight end would clear out the poach safety, and Jerry would run the post. Tim would run the quarters beater. And we had somebody coming underneath, And we had 22 personnel, 2 backs, 2 tight ends, just 1 wideout. So I ran double post, and I go, let's go 22Z, let's go Jerry Rice. And Jerry runs the double post. The next day I walk in my office, and Tim Brown's sitting in my chair at my desk. Gruden, you took my double post, man. He didn't like that. So I'm like, I'm sorry, man. But I'll never forget, first preseason
What did you complete? Did he complete it?
I just said, no. I just said, hey, it is Jerry Rice.
Yeah.
It's not like, some slapdick out there. I mean, But I remember the first preseason game, we had Jerry and Tim. And I told them, I said, we're at home. I said, I'm going to let you guys play the first 3 plays. That's it. First play of the game, I called H2 double go. And Gannon, he's a bad. Gannon looks at me, he goes, hey, who do you want me to throw it to? I go, that's your fucking problem, man. You know what I mean? But you got a free safety in the middle of the field. You got Rice and Brown, so there was some of that Gannon had to deal with. It's not as easy as people think.
No, that is not, especially just at the point of where they were in their career. So, Coach, this is your second year?
Yep.
What was the turning point of this year? Was it this game?
Well, the turning point was that guy right there, Gannon, number 12. I mean, he just made us practice different. We met different. There was a demand. He would throw his helmet. He would go nuts on the practice field. I mean, if it wasn't right. Yeah. Let's get the tempo going. What are we doing out here? He'd yell at me. I'd yell back at him. There was a lot of that.
How old was he at the time?
34.
How old were you?
Probably 36, 35.
That's that's what it probably felt like for. But you got an old veteran.
Yeah, we were determined to change things.
He did,
and he really made it a real challenge. He's a challenge to coach, but he brought his A game every day.
Who was the funny guy in the team?
Funny guy in the team. It wasn't a lot of fun out there, really. When you're working for Al Davis, and there's a lot of
jokesters.
People, Bill Belichick had the job. He was going to get the head coaching job. He called me. He says, hey, do you want this job? I go, what are you talking about? He goes, do you want the Raider job? I go, yeah, I do. He goes, you can have it. I'm pulling my name out. But, there was a lot of people that says, you want to ruin your career? You go work for that guy. Because people have been fired and fired and fired and fired. So there was a lot of pressure. It wasn't a lot of joke telling. Yeah. This was not a, real loose atmosphere. We were grinding.
Who's the team asshole?
A team asshole. Probably Woodson. Woodson brought a lot of.
I work with him on Fox.
Yeah, he didn't take any shit from anybody. I remember one day he went out there and he got into Tim Brown pretty good in 1-on-1. I said, "What the hell are you doing?" He didn't give a shit, and he wanted to play offense. And I told him, "No, you're not playing offense. You're playing defense." He just pissed me about that. He didn't really know how to practice, I think, like a pro. He had all the talent, man. He had everything. And he was a great game day player. But getting him to Sunday, it was a challenge. It was a challenge.
What were some of the challenges?
Well, Andre Rison was on the team. Friday night, Thursday night was a challenge. Who are you going out with? Then I brought in Charlie Garner, my guy from
Niners.
I was with Charlie in Philadelphia, and I love Garner. Fucking loved him. But I'd see Garner and Woodson getting out of the car together, and I'd go, God dang it, God damn it. But Woodson, he was tough on me sometimes, but I loved him.
I work with him at Fox, and it took us some time to. he's got that captain kind of vibe where
Yeah,
you gotta show him you're worthy.
that's right.
And
That's
then
right.
once you do, then he's your boy.
We brought in Eric Allen, who just went into the Hall of Fame. And Eric Allen coming to the Raiders at that point in his career, I think he really helped Charles.
Yeah.
Like when I wanted to get a message to Woodson, sometimes I'd have to do it through Eric Allen, But,
Good coaching right there.
yeah.
You gotta see. Jackie, let's get the game lead up.
That's right.
And
I
we'll break
think
down it.
The big one here is playoff berth is on the line. AFC West title is on the line. And we got to mention this is a Week 12 rematch. Blown lead, fourth quarter lead. Sour taste in these Raiders' mouth. We want a little revenge. Kansas City coming off a loss to Mike Holmgren up in the old Kingdom. So they need this one, baby. The Raiders are out at this point, but we're trying to end the season on a high note. Like that match, baby.
Can you just paint the picture of that old Arrowhead Stadium? Because I always talk about it, the new one or whatever. Was this the older stadium?
Yeah.
So I always talk about Kansas City being top 3 loudest outdoor stadiums in the league, with Seattle being there and Denver being up there. And you had to play them both. Was Kansas City just fucking rocking all?
Well, Kansas City at that time, they were renovating Seattle Stadium. We were playing in the old Washington Husky Stadium when we played Seattle.
Oh, yeah.
So that was kind of they played in the Kingdom. It was kind of
I wanted to go to UW. I remember that.
But old Arrowhead, they were on the verge, on the brink. They were close. They had just been eliminated, I think, by the Indianapolis Colts at home in the playoffs the year before. And you said it. You listed the name of characters they had on that team. So, and they had the division wrapped up. They'd beaten the Raiders, I think, 9 times in a row, something like
It was
that.
like 11 years straight.
11.
Yeah, they own the 90s, man.
Let's get into the game, Jack.
All right, we got to start. Not the best start. We got to get it out of the way early. Down 17-0 before the, Kansas City barely even had the ball. To Merrick Vanover. That guy was a return specialist. 84-yard punt return. Then you got a pick 6, field goal. It's 17-0 before you can even blink.
Yeah,
Not great.
bad.
Now, at this point, Coach, are you scrapping the game plan and just going off of the adjustments of what they've been giving you, or are you guys just sticking with it?
Well, we're not going to scrap the game plan. We know we got to get one score and get back into the game. Let's not worry about scrapping anything. Let's try to get back in the game. I mean, hell, we punt the ball. The punter punted it down the middle of the field to Tamarick Vanover. It's like blowing your brains out. So I was pissed. And then we got a concept. We had a double slant and a drag slant on the opposite side. The double slant, James Hasty is the nickel corner. And I thought, Gannon thought he was carrying the inside slant.
Baited him.
He baited him, buzzed it, took it to the house. I never called that play again. I can hate that play. Sean Payton still likes that play. Anyways,
Tosser.
Man, we got to put some shine on Vanover. I mean, that was his second punt return that year. 8 in his career up to this point. That guy was a special,
He
man.
was long and fast.
Vanover is like Marcus Jones and Rashid Shaheed. He was dangerous.
Game changer.
So we are
X-Factor
behind
guys.
17-0.
This ain't
and
great.
It's rocking.
We need something here. We need something.
So we get the
How about
ball,
Markey?
we go 3 and out again.
Yes,
And they're
God,
fucking going crazy.
God dog it.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. But we got a guy, Marquise Walker. When you need a spark, look to special teams. Punt block, Kenny Shed, scoop and score. What did that do to the Mo?
Gave us a chance, man. I mean, they're putting us away. We're punting the ball to Vanover again, down 17, and all of a sudden, it's 17-7. Kenny Shed's a policeman now. out
Is he
in Oakland.
really?
Yeah.
What a resilient group, though.
Yeah.
Special teams wise, you give up a house call and then get a block kick, field goal, scoop, score.
Well, James Jett is hurt, so James Jett doesn't play. So we're using Terry Mickens, who I brought in from Philly, as our X, and we elevate Kenny Shed. He's got to play offense. And here's the guy that really turns the game around with that block punt.
Man, imagine getting arrested by Kenny Shed.
Yeah.
The guy that did the scoop and score in week 17 at Arrowhead.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. And then you get, the Mo is going, the rally is starting. You got Gannon to Crockett, baby. We're at 17-14. Gannon to Napoleon Kaufman. 21-17. Got the lead.
Yeah,
oh
but
my God.
what you don't realize is they are rushing the passer. They are rushing. They are heating our ass up. We're playing a backup tackle. I think Wisniewski gets hurt for a while, and we put in Gennaro DiNapoli, and we're blocking Leslie O'Neal, I think Derek Thomas, Chester McLaughlin, and we run a screen to Zach Crockett. We called 50X spot. We had these pass routes. We would call the route and let the defense cover the route and then throw the screen. We called them voided screens. Yeah. Well, Zach Crockett on a greatly executed screen walks in.
Yeah.
It's 17-14. He's doing his Omega shuffle. All of a sudden, Chucky's coming alive down there.
They're getting it.
Wow. We get the ball back, and the pass to Kaufman was a shovel pass.
All-timer.
And Derek Thomas is racing up the field.
Slow him down.
Great way
And
to
fucking
neutralize that.
Napoleon walks in for another. We got the lead 21-17.
That's a
Feeling
good
good,
play
baby.
call right there.
That is.
Yeah.
That's how you get
Bill
around that.
Callahan, the offensive line coach,
Shout out.
called that play.
Oh, I love that.
Because
play.
he's like,
He's the offensive line coach. Coach, we got to settle him down. He's going off the field.
Bill was
Fucking just
great.
throw it out.
So we're down 21-17, and then go ahead.
We're watching the boomer cut up downstairs. He gave one of the biggest whoops ever when he threw that shovel pass TD. That was awesome. But they come back. They're back, rights the ship a little bit, gets a touchdown. Tony Gonzalez back up 24-21. But right before the half, Gannon to Wheelie again. 28-24. We're going in the locker room roaring.
It
What's
was
going on?
another screen.
Jesus.
It was an
Screen
all-out blitz, man. They're coming. We had taught our screening backs. When you're the screening backs, don't get hung up in pass protection. We got nobody to throw it to. Bluff them. Break down like you're going to knock his ass off and slip.
Lay him.
Wheatley, if you watch that play, it's a clinic reel. He bluffs that blitzer, catches the screen, walks in. I remember running to the locker room, 28-24. We're winning. And I was thinking, we got 3 touchdown passes on screens. Al Davis is probably up there pissed. I said, we got to throw the ball down the field. Shit. But I didn't know what to say. I was so excited. That was the greatest freaking comeback. And the crowd in Kansas City's like, son of a bitch. We got a ball game here.
We got a ball
It
game.
was great.
Oh, man, I bet the doors were about to blow off that locker room at halftime. I love it. But Kansas City comes out hot. We get a 98-yard TD drive. Joe Horn finishes it off back up 31-28. Then a big drive, Gannon to Brown on this one, a big 42-yarder, gets that drive going. And then we got to give some shine to Terrence Wheatley again, brother.
Wheatley had
One of the hardest TD runs you'll ever see.
ran through the whole
he's fighting.
team.
It was insane, dragging him in the end zone. He's fighting for yards. That was a touchdown
Raider run.
That was a Raider run.
was a
Back
great
up
run.
35-31. If this isn't the most back and forth game of all time,
You remember Mark May? The
he was calling
announcer?
this thing.
Yeah, I remember. I was watching that on a DVD, and I can still hear Mark May going, Tyrone Wheatley, he won't go down. He will not go down. I love that call, man.
It was awesome. It was all time. And then you got Ian Eagle in there. He looks like he's about 12 years old.
Yeah, I love that guy. Yeah, he's my favorite today.
What a crew. Oh, my gosh. And then we fast forward a little bit. Gerback recaptures the lead 38-35. And then you get to 45 seconds left. We got to drive here to tie this thing up. Rich Gannon converts, what's it, 3rd and 19?
Yeah, fourth and well, there's a
13.
personal foul. Tim Brown catches a pass, and he threw the ball, I guess, at somebody because they wouldn't let him up. And they gave him a 15-yard penalty to make it like 3rd and 20. So we get a little completion, and on 4th and 12, we ran 24 double dig. And Tim Brown slipped the cloud, went up inside, and Gannon looked off the boom, first down.
First down.
Yeah, and that place was freaking going nuts, man. If you get a chance, look this video up.
Oh, we were watching downstairs, yeah.
That's pretty good.
I mean, and I got to say, Coach, not to glaze you up too hard, but the passion and the intensity, man, you had on the sideline. Jules and I were ready to run through the brick wall back there.
I love
God,
it.
it was popping off the
Yeah.
screen. And then that sets up the pride of San Jose State, Joe Edney, 38-yarder. We're going to OT.
Well, Stoyanovich.
Oh, and
missed
the
the field
Stoyanovich. Oh, my God, he shanked one.
Yeah.
We forgot about that. I
And
glazed
we
over
took
that.
a timeout. We took a timeout, and this is probably not kosher, but I talked a lot of trash, like to the opposing team.
Got it.
You're like, hey, Edelman, you look like you got a dumpy ass, Edelman. You know, pull your socks up. You know, Stoyanovich, you're gonna miss it. Shake it. You know, I'd be yelling at him. He missed it. That was a great day for me.
That was awesome. And then we get a nice little gift to start OT. Baker, he shanked that thing out of bounds, doesn't he?
Yeah,
we
they
started
had
this thing
a
at the 40.
substitute kick guy.
That's right.
He had a hard time kicking off. He kicked it out of bounds again
3 times.
I
I
thought
love
Gunther
that.
Cunningham was going to go down. He's down there yelling at his special teams coach, and I'm like, nice kick, you son of a bitch, nice kick. So they had been bringing this weak side blitz and an over defense. They're bringing like the will-free safety. And we're in an I formation. We never were in the gun. So we run Fox 3 Z bingo cross. And we get the same blitz, and Tyrone Wheatley stuffed it. and Tim Brown comes out the back end for about 40 yards. Set us up for the game
A
winner.
nice little 33-yard chipper, 41-38. The Raiders get their first win of the 90s. Well, we're in 2000, but man, we're ready to get out of there with a win. That was awesome.
I was dancing on the
Coach,
field.
I think you levitated out there, man.
Yeah,
That was awesome.
I was dancing on the field, and Tony Gonzalez hated me. He ripped me 100,000 times. Fuck that Jon Gruden guy. He was dancing on our field. Well, I'm going to dance for the next 2.5 years, Tony. And I did. We danced. We beat him 5 straight times.
Let's fucking go.
Let's go. We're going to play you. We're going to dance all over your freaking grave, too.
Hey, you know, and that's what it should be. That's what playing in the division is. I mean, that's one of the oldest AFL rivalries in the game. Since 1960, those teams have hated each other. Now you got guys before games keying, you know, we're taking Instagram. Like, that's what football is supposed to be. I hated the Jets.
Yeah.
I fucking hated the Jets. The Buffalo Bills, they were our little brothers, but in the division, it had to be straight hatred. And that's what was so magnified after we watched the old cut-ups of this.
Yeah.
Just how fucking how much it mattered.
Yeah.
How much it mattered to win in the division. That's what people don't realize. You win in the division, you get a home playoff game. You get the home playoff. That's the first goal, is winning in the division.
Yeah, and you take it from somebody in their home field.
For as long as you guys been losing there.
That's when you're on the bus, and I've been criticized for a lot, but I would tell the bus driver, hey, spin this thing around Arrowhead for 45 minutes. I want to enjoy a beer on the plane here. Then you tell the pilot, hey, I don't want this trip to land. Can you make it a 15 extra minutes? You want to share that time. You know, but being on the bus with your players in the middle of the Arrowhead parking lot, watching them all go back to their cars. Oh, it was like, because when you drive into Arrowhead, they're throwing shit at the bus, flipping you off, you know?
Coach, I mean, that just got me thinking. That's probably top 3 favorite things in my career is when you get a big game on the road, the time of the travel.
Same here.
Because after that, once you're off the bus, you're on to the next. But that time, which one was like one that you remember? What away game win do you remember the most where it was so satisfying? Is this there up there at it, or had to be some others?
It's at the top. You know, Super Bowl, San Diego, when I was offensive coordinator, beating the Dallas Cowboys with Aikman and Irvin in Dallas. You know, I was a 31-year-old offensive coordinator. And I'd been going up there. They'd been kicking our ass. And they would always say, hey, boy, come on back here. I'd be walking to the elevator. And they're there in their luxury box, cowboy hats. Hey, boy, come on back next year. We enjoy having you. Well, we went up there with Ty Detmer and tore their ass up. So I was opening up every luxury suite on the way to the elevator. See you next year, boys. You know what I mean? And I get on the bus, and you just know the preparation, the amount of time. You know, at least that's the way we invested our whole life in this week. You know what I mean?
And what did you say when you came in here? You got a whole army in here.
Yeah.
And it's that army. It takes an army to get one win in that week. It takes an army of people. Fucking the cafeteria people, the equipment staff, the fucking training. It's an army of people. And just for that 3 hours of travel, you get to enjoy it. Because once you get off that plane, you're already turning the fucking page like Bobby Seeger said.
That's exactly. You can't say it any better than that. But this was one of those great moments, man.
Did Holmgren send you something?
He did.
What did he send you?
He didn't send me something, but you can find.
I saw the interview.
You know, my old guy Gruber. You know, God bless Mike Holmgren, but you'll see me dancing right there.
Look at
I danced for 15 minutes.
You were, Coach, you are towhead.
Man, Holmgren said in the locker room, I got to send my guy something special.
Yeah, he never sent me nothing.
Come on, Coach. Come on.
Yeah,
that's weird. Jules and I were playing. We were downstairs talking like, what did he send? Had to be something good.
Yeah,
at least a fruit basket.
I remember when this brought me down memory lane, man. You were like, I was a Niner guy, but when you saw Gruden, the young coach over there with the fire, there was fucking some fire with the Raiders, and everyone was a fan of it in the Bay. Like, we all used to be like, the Raider. But then when you came out there, you guys are doing exciting things. You guys brought over Jerry. You had Tim Brown there. You go to the bowl. It was just, it was so fun to watch this game and study the tape.
Those are great days.
Let's freaking grade the game and see where it stands in the rankings of all. That's the shovel pass.
There's the shovel pass to Kaufman.
Beautiful.
He was something else. He retired when he was 26 years old. I cried for 2 days.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is when you know you got him, when you know you got a chance. You feel it on the sidelines. All three phases are kicking in. It was a great day.
Perfect. Let's go in. Let's
Should we
name the
grade this
game,
thing? Should we
and then
grade it?
let's grade the game.
Nice.
These are some names we came up with, Coach. That's why we come on the show. We grade the game to see where it ranks in the greatest games of all time. We came up with some, but if you have a name, you can drop the name. We'll go with it. We came up with the OT at Arrowhead, the Broken Arrow.
Broken
game.
Arrow, I like it. Put it on there.
All right, the
Shout out
Broken
Howie
Arrow
Long.
game.
Shout out Howie Long.
Shout out Howie Long.
Yeah,
Shout
I
out
like that.
Howie Long. Raider for life right there. Score the game. Is this the greatest game of all time? Let's score it. Coach, decimals are encouraged. The stakes of this week 17 regular season game in 1990 are stakes 0 to 10. Decimals encouraged.
Well, for us, we weren't going to make the playoffs, but I needed to save my job. We needed credibility, so it has to be at 9.5.
9.5. That's
I mean,
great
hell.
score. Yeah, this is why we all individually graded. I mean, everyone has different circumstances. Week 17, teams going out there fighting for me. I would say it's a 7.5. Coach, I got to let you know we've done World Cup final. I mean, it's fucking tough. Coach,
I get it.
you know,
I mean,
yeah.
the Chiefs win the division. The stakes for them were high.
Yeah.
At a
But, for us
7.4.
to really stick our foot up their ass, we need to take that from them.
I love it. I love it.
That's why I have it higher.
Now,
like
what's
that.
the star power of this game? 0 to 10 decimals encourage.
Let's say, you listed the number of Hall of Famers.
At 8.
I would put by 8.0.
Yeah. I think
that.
it's an 8.2. 8.2.
What am I doing?
I'm bad.
Whoa. I think
we got Russian
we
judge
got a malfunction over here in the
Jesus
scoring
Christ.
system. Give me an 8.1.
Fucking
It's not a
A.
Patriots game.
I'm going to go with 8.1 there
Okay.
for old
I'm also 8.1.
Randy Moss.
The gameplay of this game, a lot of back and forth, a couple shitty, bad football plays, kicking it out of bounds. That'll keep a coach up all night. What was the gameplay? 0 to 10 decimals encouraged.
Well, obviously, you give up 35 points, a punt return for a touchdown, an interception for a touchdown. I'm going to say a 7.5
7 point.
overall, but down the stretch, you could feel the wrath of the Raiders. Couldn't you?
Feel the wrath. I'm gonna go. I like a nice muddy game. I like special teams involved. I fucking made the team because of special teams. I'm going with the 8.3.
I like that. I have a feeling I'm going to need
Block
to change
kick,
mine.
house kick.
8.9. This
I
was
also had an 8.9.
as a fan. Boy, is this entertaining to
Yeah.
watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give the gameplay higher. Give me an 8.5.
I like it. Let's be the 8 boys in here.
All right, Coach. The name of the game. We got to grade the name of the game. The Broken Arrow game. You broke that arrow. What's the?
The name of the game?
Yeah,
I thought we called it the Broken Arrow.
I know,
No,
but we got to grade the name of the game.
It's the cultural impact. It's
Broken
how
Arrow.
often you think about this game. You're lying at home. It's dark. You think about this game.
I would like to say the Broken Arrow stabbed them in the ass or something like that. Broken Arrow, I think that's a good, solid 8.5.
Yep.
I mean, is that what a chief does? He has an arrow, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I go with that.
I'm going with the 7.1.
7.1.
I'm going to have to redo mine. I know. I see, again, I didn't know what we were going to pick. 7.1. I'm going to go
I'm staying with
7.3.
I'm staying with the 3.3. I don't think about this game in the dark at all.
Russian judge over here. Okay,
Russian judge.
where does it land? Where does it land?
It is a 7.79.
Great score.
So that's going to put us. It's our
This is
new
awesome.
7.79. Is that right?
Yep.
It's our new.
Right by the Elway, Montana.
It's tied.
1994 game.
It can't be as high as some of those others.
It's our new 63rd game tied with Elway versus Montana, 1994, Week 7, Chiefs versus Browns.
The Broncos.
Oh, Broncos. Who did we do that with?
Eric Stone Street,
Eric
right?
Stone
Stone
Street.
Street.
Shout out.
And then if you want to see the top,
And right
of the
above the
list,
Tuna Bowl, Pats versus Jets when Parcells
first game in Gillette.
Week
first game in Gillette.
Where's the Dolphins versus the Jets? Vinny Testaverde.
We haven't done
it
that
yet.
game. So this is
That game.
only games that we've covered.
Okay.
Yeah, these are the games
Yeah.
we've covered.
We got to do that one,
We're
Coach.
super Patriots heavy, but this is the top of our list right now.
Very good. Malcolm Butler game. Good God, was that a great game?
Snowball game or the Tuck Rule game's our 8th game.
Yeah, Miracle
Sorry,
on
Coach.
Ice there. That was a fun game to go.
Well, you should have a different segment for your postseason games.
I know.
I mean,
Gotta-
regular
I'm with you.
season games kind of belong in a different.
but it's still there's still super insane cultural impact of regular seasons like this game that was light the match game right here. This started off
That's right.
what the Raiders would become.
That was awesome, man.
That was so fun,
It was
Coach.
fun reliving it. Yeah.
It was an honor to get to do
Too
it
bad
with you,
you
man.
can't, like when I do my Barstool stuff, like I study the films, make cut-ups, and I want to show the fans what I'm talking about. So when you try to show the video,
It's hard.
you get incarcerated.
Yeah.
You know, you get canceled.
You get sent a bill.
Like when we do our Gruden's QB class, we have to spend a lot of money
I
to
know.
show 5 clips of these quarterbacks. You know, it's just a tragedy that you can't share these reminders to fans. And I think it's bad because you got to rebrand football.
Amen.
You got to make young people want to watch this shit.
The clip
you know?
shit is what makes the young people come.
I mean, I was on Monday Night Football for 9 years. And I really wanted to stay there forever because I fucking loved that song growing up as a kid. I used to get mad at the producer of ESPN's Monday Night Football and the director. They were my friends. I said, how come we can't use the old dun, 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 the New England Patriots led by Tom Brady. He has a new weapon, Randy Moss. You know, that used to, God dang, man. You know, it used to fire me up. But now,
Me too.
you know, you can't even show the highlight. You can't get the hype, man.
It's tough. What do they say? Money ruins everything.
I know. But this is for the people. Ball is for the people. No one should own this. This is everybody, man.
Yeah.
Democratize these clips, baby.
But Coach, that was by far the best game breakdown we've done on this show. We've done 150 episodes. The way that you had that,
I can remember the
And
game
it was
like
smooth.
yesterday.
I just feel like we had great chemistry
you did
too.
a hell of a job, man.
It was fun. You know, I get nervous presenting in front of the coaches or certain, you know, like Boomer or, you know, all these legends because you guys are the ones that have done this for so long. And, you know, it's tough.
It's a great
a
thing
new
you're
skill.
doing.
It's a new skill.
It was an honor, Coach. Thank you so much, man.
Everyone, go check out Gruden's game preview. They are unbelievable. If you really want to get a deep dive of what the game is going to be, I'm telling you, that's what installation in the NFL is. That's what players have to fucking do every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, depending on the game plan or what day it is, third down or red area. Go check out Gruden's QB class. It's about that season.
you were prophetic with Jackson Dart. With like, hey, don't get hurt. Slide. What did we see all season long?
Yeah, sometimes you can't coach it out of him.
Yeah. Well,
He'll learn. He's going to learn either the hard way or the easy way.
Christian Ellis taught him, didn't he?
Oh, did he? But man, I think about that clip with you guys doing the snap count probably once a week. Oh my God. That is an all-timer.
We're excited. We got
20!
Yeah.
Why? Check easy. Hey, go Gopher. Two safeties, go Gopher. Alpha, go!
Is that the Kent State call?
No, that's Tom's call.
That's Tom.
I like that.
I know Tom's call. I mean, fucking heard it for 12 years.
What's
How
the-
long would you have been at Kent State these days? You'd have been there. You would have taken the NIL money.
God, I would have been at Oregon. I would have been at Cal or fucking.
Yeah.
I would have been at Pac-12.
Yeah.
Oh, there is no more, but that's where I wanted to be.
Yeah. This world is crazy.
It's
man.
nuts.
It sure is.
But and then also go check out Inside the FFCA,
Yeah, thank
Fired
you.
Football Coach Association. Coach, thank you so
Appreciate
much.
you, man. Yeah, I love you.
Man, what a game. And thanks again to Coach Gruden. That met all the expectations.
And then some. Man, was that awesome.
You know,
Ball knower, ball lover, infectious. I feel like I could go out there and play right now.
man, Nuthouse in San Francisco, brought to you by Liquid IV, has brought 2 gems. I brought 2 gems thus far. Super Bowl week, big
2 for
fun.
2 back to back. Let's go.
Real football heads too.
That's right.
Got to watch those guys, Berman and Gruden, on TV. They shaped how I looked at football, and it was cool to get to talk to them.
It really was. I was like some.
They are football.
They're football.
Yeah, they are. And it's one of those do meet your heroes type vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's been another episode of Games with Names. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, or wherever you listen to your music. Comment a game you want us to do. And remember,
Rate and review.
leave us a 5-star review on Spotify while you're there. Remember to follow Games with Names on YouTube, Instagram, X, TikTok, Snapchat. Leave a message on those YouTube full episodes. We love reading the best ones in the future episodes. And then also the hotline, That number is 424-291-2290. Keep sending stuff in. We love those voicemails. We'll see you guys next week.
Later.
Games with Names, a production of iHeartRadio. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts.